So, rules are very slightly different for bingo playoffs, so I'll go ahead and just cover those now so everyone's on the same page. It's still going to be lockout bingo, and still rules apply of if a bingo is obtained, the game's over.
I need you to know I've been holding that in all season.
I appreciate that you busted it out for playoffs then, baby. So, still lockout bingo. Still, if 5 in a row, game's over. Still, if a player gets to majority with all of the other bingos locked, the game's over. A couple of different things. Number one, the time limit for the match is 2 hours and 15 minutes instead of 1 hour 45. So just as a heads up, there's about a half hour more of gameplay in case it does go to time. And if it does go to time and y'all are tied, so hypothetically if it's a 12-12 tie at the end of the 2 hours and 15 minutes, the timer's going and we just wait until the 13th square is marked for either of y'all. So should be fun. Looking forward to it. I think it's the first time I've actually gotten to cast a playoff match, so we will be pretty excited here. I hope y'all are too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a blast. We have such a stacked cast to meet too. I'm really certainly looking forward to the games. If this is my only game, then I'm looking forward to the game in singular.
Well, before we get into it, if y'all do want more bingo action, I'm going to try to remember this a couple of times, but we do have the Underground Bingo Tourney sign-ups through tomorrow night, and it's just a chill underground tournament where you get to pick and ban bingo games, so if you want more bingo action, sign up for that. But otherwise, if y'all are good, I think we are good to mute and deafen and get started here.
Okay, very good. Good luck. Have fun, Zuzu.
Good luck, adoor.
Okay, so let me unhide the things. I should have run the ad earlier, sorry about that, y'all. Okay, let me tell them,
Jesus.
Are you okay, baby?
I'm fine, I'm just knocking things over.
Okay.
Like, look at me, I'm fine. I'm not hurt. I don't make those noises if I'm hurt.
So, since there's ads, I'm going to go ahead and just wait until the ads are at least a little bit closer to being done. But this will also give us a little bit of time to preview the board, I guess. We have a really fast center square, as well as gold discs abound on this board. You could literally just get Camouflage, Campanella, and Kit Club as your gold discs and get 4 spaces out of that on this board. And I think the goals on this board are all really, really fast, so I would not be surprised to see a lot of spaces fly off on this board. I don't particularly know how comfortable some of the players are in some of the games with the longer goals on here, like the Multi-Mod and Banger and Campanella Gold Disc and stuff. There is also double Campanella synergy with the Campanella Gold Disc there. Also double pin golf synergy, although I've seen these two squares be combined together before and it's sometimes a little bit difficult. We do also have double Porgy synergy, although this one's a little more tenuous as well, just because 3 abilities in Porgy is definitely a lot longer than 3 fuel tanks. Okay, let's go ahead and reconfirm that Zuzu is ready, because we only have another minute in ads. Okay. Start countdown. Be a 60-second countdown, and start it now. Alright, both players have revealed the card. We are officially underway. Let me make sure that this is a little bit quieter, actually. Okay. So beat 4 levels in 5 different games is one of the quickest spaces for general goals, but is also potentially one of the longer spaces on this board, which I think has more to do with how fast this board actually is. There is also kind of nice plays like everywhere on this board, honestly. Like just looking through, if you're able to set up Pilot Quest, even column 4, the middle column, if you're comfortable with Kick Club, is really fast. The top row is pretty fast if you know your divers. So pretty excited to see which games players get into here, because can really be anything. Alright, and we do see divers immediately and some Velgress. The Velgress is collect all 3 keys in a single run, which interestingly enough actually doesn't super synergize well with the Velgress gold disc, since you end up having to play the cherry levels anyway, but you can just, if you wanted to, just get the Velgress cherry here as well. And meanwhile, we are immediately looking to pull 2 levers and divers. Having a corner square in a bingo match is pretty helpful, because the corner squares do link up in a bunch of pretty nice ways for players. And we are doing pretty well, it looks like, here in Velgress. I didn't get to watch the players warm up or anything too much. Shout out to the star block on floor 30, by the way. That's really funny. I didn't get to watch the players warm up too much, because this match took place like right after I got off work, but I have gotten to cast both their games before. I've gotten to cast both of them before, in games I guess I should say. And I do know that these players met up earlier in the season, and it was a pretty close, I think, 13-9 win. And both players, obviously, being in playoffs, are very comfortable in the games that they want to go for. We have seen a couple of deaths in Velgress, but I feel like that's pretty common, honestly. Even when you are comfortable in Velgress, they just have the shake off the nerves of playing it in bingo. Velgress is definitely one of those games that's slightly more stressful to play in bingo, which means it is a little bit harder. It's already a pretty hard game, honestly, so... Meanwhile, we do get caught in divers. I think just gonna try to attack, but I think these guys are too strong, right? Yeah. We do get the escape. Okay. I thought that was over for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just a flat like 25% to escape, so good on Zuzu to be able to grab that. Also some very nice movement there in Velgress before it unfortunately didn't work out there. But you are able to stand on the middle tile of those 3 wide light beam things in stage 2. I guess I don't even really know what to call them, but the things that you can shoot either horizontally or vertically, depending on their last orientation. And also shoutouts to the other 2 playoff games that are being played currently. We do have an A-tier best of 3 being played and a match in B1 being played currently, so... Again, some very, very clean movement to get around these, like, solid bars of these light beam things. That specific orientation of stuff can sometimes be a little hard to navigate through quickly. But Adoor's been doing a good job of squeezing their way through there. Ooh, okay. Shoutouts to the recovery loop being ever so slightly faster. Nicely done. Double jump was available, but unfortunately didn't have 30 coins. No, what a combo. That's unfortunate. That squid could not have come down at a worse time there. pivoting, I think, correctly into Porgy. Collect 3 fuel tanks is a very, very fast goal, even if you don't super know your way around Porgy. And even just having that little bit of extra setup for Metroidvania can be pretty helpful. Especially since there is synergy to collect the multi-mod on here, and you're going to have to collect 2 things in danger anyway. Alright, and there's the second lever in Divers. Very nicely done. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna follow that route and memorize it tonight. Because I need to make sure I remember that route. And we are seeing some a little bit more shot boosting on Zuzu's side. And I think this will end up being okay for adoor. I will hop back on my Porgy soapbox again and say that both players would have slightly more fuel if they grabbed the second fuel on the first dive. Doesn't look like it's super gonna matter here because it looks like adoor has just enough. Alright, there's the 3 fuel tanks, blocks that top row bingo, which is a very good thing because, as I mentioned, that was probably like the main bingo that I personally saw that I would have gone for. And immediate pivot into pin golf to be in first place immediately after hole 9 and or destroy 10 orange obstacles. As I mentioned, I've actually watched players sometimes have a little bit of a hard time synergizing these two together because you end up taking kind of a lot of strokes on destroy 10 orange obstacles if you don't know the route to get through them. And that sometimes doesn't always synergize well with going fast. But we do have the pin golf gift. And meanwhile, by the way, Zuzu is working through to fill 5 item slots in Barbuda. Pretty fast goal. There's a lot of spots that you can go to fill up item slots, but I think even if you're just kind of following the gold disc route, I think you actually get 5, and if you don't, you just kind of go very slightly out of your way for like the pin or something, and then you're fine. Hi Circle, how's it going? Good to see you. Also, friendly self-promotion, since I don't even think I've really promoted it on stream very much recently. But Circle Friendo and I are working on a 2-part ROM hack race level for Super Mario World Kaizo that should be in a couple of weeks, and I'm very excited for it because it's really coming together. I also have not been paying attention at all to how many orange things Adoor's killed. But I think given this style of play seems more focused on just trying to make sure that they're in first place immediately after hole 9. I know Adoor has at least 1 orange thing, but it doesn't seem like that's been the main priority so far. Alright, so there's potentially 2 orange things. Is this screen capture the right size? Yes, it is. I guess I can make this very slightly smaller to show the brown a bit better. There we go. Alright, and as I mentioned, seemed more focused on being in first place immediately after hole 9. I really hope that if Adoor does go back for the orange obstacles, that I don't have to call a pause and try to keep track of which orange obstacles were obtained. It's looking like this is probably just going to be a gold disc run, which makes sense because if you're in first place immediately after hole 9, you might as well try to be in first place immediately after hole 18 also. And the nice thing about having to get the gold instead of the cherry is even if some of the later holes are a little bit mean, like this approach shot's being right now, you can only get up to +4 per hole, and I think adoor was at like -8 going into this, so there's a pretty big cushion. Oh, it's back at 0 now, but still hopefully has enough of a cushion for this. I will say the AI seems to actually be playing pretty tight here, because it doesn't have that big of a gap. And meanwhile, Zuzu is going to go ahead and grab the key. Oh, don't fall in the pit. Sketch. So now Zuzu will just need one more item, and given that he has 100 gold, I wonder if it's just going to be the candy up top, or I wonder if he's going to hop over for the bat protection thing. I imagine at this point also going to stay in for a gold disc here. Not really any reason not to try it, at least. Heading over this way. Probably just gonna buy the thing from the shop down here, I would guess. All of these other things are kind of like equally far away, so I think that makes sense. Nice moves to get around that little pickaxe guy. That guy can be surprisingly annoying to maneuver around sometimes. You gotta be careful dunking on this hole. It ended up working out okay there, but... Okay, so that'll be the 5th item. Not gonna stay in for the gift, or the gold. Or the gift, I guess, but... I think that might have been worth it, honestly. I know that this is still early in the game and you're kind of just trying to grab the quick squares and stuff, but... Alright, so... is only gonna need another, like, 3 rooms for that gift, so... should be able to pop back in later in the match and do that as needed. Alright, and we're gonna see Zuzu's turn at the effective Velgress cherry. Alright. So luckily able to hold on to that lead and grab the gold in pin golf. Very nicely done. And now I think adoor sees that double synergy with Vanger now. And to be perfectly honest, this is kind of just doing the Vanger portion of Metroidvania and also getting credit for it in a different bingo portion of that line. Which is pretty helpful, especially since if you're adoor, you already have shown that you have a little bit of porgy progress as well. That could almost completely disincentivize Zuzu from even trying to go for Metroidvania, which having that in your back pocket is at least like a mental game for your opponent is pretty helpful. Forgot to announce I was going live in my own Discord, whoops. Okay. So we do already have 2 keys in Velgress while we are working our way up to the heat mod. Nice save there. That was a little bit of a sketch spot in Velgress, but able to maneuver around those bullets pretty well. Unfortunately, don't have enough coins for upgrades. Lightfoot is still going to be pretty helpful. I like having Lightfoot a lot in this stage because these bubbles pop really fast otherwise. Okay, and we also got the gift in Vanger and Velgris. Okay, and gonna quit out. So it doesn't look like Zuzu is super interested in trying to grab gold discs right now, and is instead just trying to grab like quick spaces around the board, which fair play, because there are quite a lot of quick spaces on this board, and while synergy and stuff is always good to get when you can, sometimes it's just better to play fast. Bramblin, it is playoffs. How's it going? Thank you for 3 months. Much appreciated. We are casting the B1, or B2, excuse me, quarterfinals right now. Is a friendly reminder to everyone who got in here a little late. Playoffs basically play out the exact same way as the regular season. The only major difference is that games are a half hour longer. The finals are going to be best of 3, and the games, if they end in like a 12-12 tie, the timer effectively just like turns off at that point, and whoever gets the final square at that point, or the next square first, will win. But I figure I should probably reiterate that, since I'm not sure how many people were here at the start of that, since I did it pretty early in the stream today. And we are starting to see, by the way, Zuzu did identify that this column 5 bingo could be a potential threat, as well as the middle row bingo being a threat. And both of those require beating the egg, which is also going to be a gift in Caramel Caramel, and also likely will probably count for a top 5. So again, one thing that I've definitely mentioned a lot in the bingo recaps, as well as pretty much every match I've casted so far this season, players are getting really, really good at identifying like hidden synergies on a board, and identifying when spaces maybe take like a little bit longer or have like a little bit more skill, but like the payoff for doing those spaces like rewards you with more than just like one tile on the board. I think we're starting to see that with both players here, with the Velgris and Caramel Caramel play here. You don't normally see Caramel Caramel as a top 5 leaderboard, but if you have to beat the egg anyway, I think even if you don't really point grind before then, you should probably have enough for top 5, right? Alright, and that was a really fast multi-mod also, which satisfies the Metroidvania portion of that. Sorry about that, not really sure what happened. I was giving commentary, and then I saw the game play freeze, and then my laptop blue screened. So that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just play with oh, looks like Adoor just has sound effects on. Okay, do you have music? You do. Okay, we're gonna play with background music on for the first time in a while. But might as well not let this laptop freak out any more than it has to here. I will also make sure that I have the caster version up on my phone so I can call for a more immediate pause, but thankfully we didn't miss too much. It was in between games, and able to just beat the egg right when they come back. Nice. Good job, Zuzu. And I think at this point, okay, does look like gonna stay in for the top 5 as well. So I'll just go ahead and mark that off now. And I think seeing the threat of this bingo starting to form, we are gonna most likely just see this for quick levels, if I had to guess. Popping into Paint Chase. Potentially, oh, you know, I didn't even see that synergy, but this is pretty good synergy here. Most likely just going to try to get the Paint Chase win without destroying any airplanes in Course 3 goal. Could theoretically pivot that into a top 5, but I'm pretty sure top 5 in Paint Chase is actually pretty far in, so likely not for that. But possible. Paint Chase does have a leaderboard at least. Okay, and it does look like we're just seeing an outright level rush here, which I think makes sense. Block the middle row bingo as it's forming. I do think it's a little unfortunate for Adoor that Zuzu is actually working on the other bingo right now though, but given the value that the caramel egg gave, that is sort of what happens with a good space like that. That space basically threatened two equally threatening bingos and immediately put a door into a position where they had to defend both of them at the same time. And sometimes you get lucky and you're going for the exact one that your opponent's going for, and sometimes it just doesn't work out quite as well. Oh, no, no. I'm marking off gold discs. And that's not the one I'm trying to mark off here. So I think the best synergy here for Adoor, I'm not sure if this is going to end up happening, but having the 5th game of 4 different levels be Campanella 2 could be pretty helpful here. And unfortunately, we're seeing the bite of this goal from Zuzu, where if you do kill a plane, you just have to sit here in the corner and think about what you did for a bit. Alright, so as a heads up to anyone watching this live on Twitch, I'll end up editing in the first couple of minutes or so of this match and post on YouTube. Thankfully, we caught the crash pretty quickly. Neither player had like significant progress on either of the games that they were working on, and they both paused at the same time. Oh no! Zuzu killed the plane, and I think even worse, might have actually just gotten enough to be able to move on. Oh, maybe that's okay enough. The course restriction on Wave 3 is actually pretty high, so and it does look like we're just gonna see the fastest 5 games to beat 4 levels in, which definitely makes sense. You could just do 4 waves of 100 and overbold. Killed the plane again, unfortunate. I've gone on record saying that this goal is deceptively extremely difficult. It doesn't feel like it should be, because it's just like one level of dodging planes everywhere. But it ends up being really, really difficult. Also, we're not seeing top 5. You gotta get 240 for that. I'm pretty sure the very hard is getting like 340. Okay, so we are gonna start to see a little bit of a level rush here, but I think it might be a little too late. Barring a couple of waves of 100 and overbold going poorly, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say that is it right there, so. Okay. So, tied up 4-4. Advantage is currently going to Zuzu, but like I mentioned at the end of that last crash, so I guess I'll mention it again here for anyone who just plugged in. A 4-4 tiebreaker is not going to end the match for UFO 50 Bingo playoffs. So it doesn't really super matter who has score advantage, because if this game were to theoretically end 4-4, we would just keep playing until someone grabbed their 5th square anywhere on the board. Obviously, given how fast this game is going and also how good these players are, very likely to just grab another 5th square here pretty quickly, but more referring to the tiebreak scenarios. Seems like the laptop's doing a little bit better without the other background music. I guess if anyone can confirm and let me know that the audio leveling is good, because I haven't actually talked over game audio in a while. Let me turn it down just like a little bit more. So likely that we're just gonna see the top 5 here. I guess theoretically speaking, it would make sense to stay into this for a gold disc. I guess probably not in this specific board position. In my head, I'd flip-flop where the camouflage gold disc and Campanella gold disc are on the board. I think if you're Zuzu, it probably makes sense to go camouflage gold disc after this, and either threaten a bingo that has a difficult goal that you don't want to do, or just get ahead and block adoor's major bingo opportunity that's still left. I guess this could theoretically be staying in for have 25 lives also, but 25 lives is pretty far away at this point, so I think it makes more sense to probably just have it be... I mean, it does look like we're grinding 4 points specifically to potentially get up to 25, especially since the top 5 in Campanella 1 is only 5k. This could just be like a shot in the dark. If this gold disc works out, I might as well try to get up to 25 points. Alright, and adoor's able to grab the 20 bucks or more and clear the first scare. So all of a sudden it is definitely looking like that camouflage gold disc and a Kit Club gold disc could be the deciding factor of this game. Given that neither player has immediately jumped into camouflage to block this, I'm going to assume that neither is like entirely comfortable busting that out as a push. But it does look like adoor is able to take a look at the board and see that the column 5 bingo definitely is being threatened, and making a smart defensive play to just go in there and try to block it with the paint chase goal. I guess I don't entirely know if it's going to end up being relevant which 10 orange obstacles that adoor killed in Pin Golf. earlier in this game. Because I only saw 2, but I also wasn't like actively watching for them, to be honest. Like I was kind of more just paying attention to the overall score. Alright, and we do get to see an attempt at the plane goal. Oh, plane's dead. So, looks like the corner of shame as well for adoor. I, again, have gone on record saying that this goal is sneakily very difficult. It's not really very difficult to, like, win in this level, but to win without killing the plane specifically is, like, surprisingly hard. And, it's more surprisingly hard to just, like, not accidentally kill them. And like I'm the person who made the clip for the resource doc for this, and even when I made the clip, I like barely got it. It was like 61% or something. But getting the plane trapped in here is generally pretty good because it doesn't actually spread around that much. Hit the brakes so hard in front of that plane. Alright, this is decent positioning. This might actually work out. I think this might be enough. That looks like more than 60%. Barely, but it counts. Alright, so suddenly this diagonal bingo is actually starting to look pretty threatening. Especially if adoor is able to grab these quick 4 levels in Rail Heist. So assuming that, well, actually I don't even know. We are very close to 25 lives, but I don't know exactly how comfortable Zuzu is in the back half of Campanella 1. I do think at this point it probably makes sense to block that diagonal and stay in for the gold disc. But obviously make bigger priority is just grabbing the 25 lives, which has been at like 24.9 for agonizingly long, but that just tends to happen. We do know the warp here, so I think we're probably gonna stay in and just not really worry, like get the 25 lives on the way. Yeah, given how Zuzu just played that fight, it's very clear that they're comfortable here. Oh, we're not going to stay in. Okay. So this might end up being a little costly here. Or did we just... Okay, we are staying in. I think realizing that we're close to 25 lives. So if you haven't practiced bringing the crates out of these rail heist levels, this goal can actually be like surprisingly hard. The main thing you need to remember is that if you throw a crate up, it basically never breaks, but if you throw it sideways, it breaks pretty quickly. And a lot of the times, the routes that you take through these levels do kind of assume that you're just going to be... well, we do have some punch boost in here, so... Looks like adoor is pretty comfortable and just needs to figure out the exact route here. I think for this level it makes sense to grab the super punch that's available in the first cabin and just trying to get through. So it does definitely look like Zuzu's practiced this gold disc because there's a lot of very intentional death warps here, specifically for the name of saving time. It is unfortunate that Zuzu got to like 24.9 lives and has sort of slipped away from that a little bit, but I think it does definitely make sense to prioritize just getting the gold disc and blocking that diagonal at this point. Alright, we almost ran out of time in this real highest level and still gotta actually get the crate down. Oh no, are we gonna run out of time? Oh, that was very close, but good job. That was a very clean flight through those bullets. Alright, so we have 8 lives to get through the rest of... Did I miss it? I didn't see that life number go up to 25. If it did, it would have been... Okay, before I call a pause, I'm just going to use this time to review the VOD while they're getting through the end of this. Because there would have only been one spot of Camp 1 where it would have actually been over 25. Okay, they did actually hit 25 in that level. I'm glad I didn't call a pause. Also, shoutouts to Twitch, very finally having VOD Rewind. It's only for subs, and for some reason I can't do it in my own stream, but shoutouts to Bun for always being there.
Subs and Turbo subscribers.
That makes sense.
If you have Turbo, you can do it in any stream, whether you're subbed or not. Oh, hell no, a gnat on my fucking water bottle?
Yeah, I don't really know why they've been all over the place in the house tonight,
They will
because...
not leave us alone. They probably won't go near those things because I sprayed it with the oils.
I was gonna say, you made them angry.
I pissed them off with peppermint oil.
Better instant replay system than the NFL? True.
I could have sworn I took my meds earlier.
I could have sworn you did too.
Why is it saying I didn't?
I mean, I guess you didn't, but I could have sworn you did.
I could have sworn I did too. But all of the meds are in the thing.
Weird.
Oops.
So, again, for what it's worth, Zuzu is playing some incredibly clean Camp 1. And definitely you can tell has practiced this run. We are going to have 3 lives to get through the final boss here. What a rude sequence in Rail Heist. Turns around, shoots his friend. The other friend shoots the box, which is the only thing that we needed from this level. I love Rail Heist. It's so funny. Also, I think it's really funny in terms of Camp 1 how, like, chill the final boss music is after how terrifying the rest of the game is. Like, I remember the first time I got to the Campanella 1 boss, I, like, thought I glitched out the music somehow and got, like, the early credits music or something. But this is just the song for the final boss. Alright, with 1 life left, does pick up the Campanella 1 gold disc, which is a very clutch block on that diagonal that Adoor's been working on for a while now, and did log the top 5. Okay, and I think the last main bingo threat here being this horizontal. Not for either player, because there is still this row 2 bingo that Zuzu can theoretically get. Most likely just going for the top 5 here. I have a hard time seeing this be a Kit Club gold disc right off the back of a camp gold disc, but honestly I guess you'd never really know. We did just see the camp 1 gold disc. And there is the synergy of if your 3 gold discs are just the 3 gold discs that are on the card. As I mentioned, you get 4 spaces out of that, so. And I guess also mentioning, Kit Club Gold Disc, if you are comfortable with the route, is only like 10. Well, it's 10 minutes if you're like really, really speed running it, but in a bingo sense, it's probably closer to like 13 or so. And for the value of trying to block a bingo that you do think that Adoor is threatening right now, I think Adoor is now seeing that the beat 4 levels, or beat 4 levels in Rail Heist isn't going to contribute to that diagonal bingo anymore. And could theoretically be worth pivoting here, I guess. Because it's not like Adoor would have lost the progress for Rail Heist here. And having that banked progress, if that space ends up becoming a little more relevant, could prove to be helpful here. Thankfully, all the guards in Rail Heist have a tendency to go the wrong way at the right time. Alright. I think they're good. The only threat I think would have been if that guy got really close to the left side and was able to like diagonally shoot you on the way down, but alright. 7-6. And top 5 in Kit Club is 50k, right? Oh, 25k. Okay, so
What meds did I take this morning?
I don't know.
I took them because I remember taking them and then turning to my phone to turn the snooze alarm off.
I really don't know, but what?
And I know that I took my meds yesterday before I left the house. I pissed off the gnats.
I guess so.
I made them very angry. You killed my babies, is what they're saying.
Yeah, apparently they were fine over there. Little did we know.
They're mad because I sprayed the spray in the plants' soil.
Yep.
And killed their eggs.
We're taking it out by flying in front of our face. Shoutouts to plants. So this could also just be playing through to Kit Club to at least get the gift, because that is a gift from a game on this card, and then just seeing if it works for the Kit Club Gold Disc. I am surprised to see both the Campanella 1 and Kit Club Gold Disc, it looks like, being attempted before the Camouflage 1 is, but that's okay. I have to say this is a Camouflage runner, that it is very fast. It does look like we are attempting for a pretty quick Velgras Gold Disc here, though. Got locked in the corner. Unfortunate. The rinse cycle of stage 3 can sometimes just do that to you if it decides to, and got a little unlucky there. That's what was weird about it. Okay. Sorry, there's like a little bit of overlap on these streams, but it should be fixed now. Okay. So, Gift and Kit Club will be beating World 2, and then I think if you're staying in for the Gift at this point, you might as well just see if the Kit Club gods are in your favor. We do have 4 lives banked here. But unfortunately, Velgress continues to Velgress. It is at least Velgressing for both players, so feels even at least. Alright, we have a quad seed set up, and should be able to get the meat online here pretty soon. Mungtomi will also be a gift. I haven't super been like counting the gifts, I guess. Is there anything else I've missed? Camp 1, 15 lives. That's it, I think. Does look like we're finally going through to defeat 10 orange obstacles, though, so... And it looks like we're just following the route this time, so... There's the Gift and Kit Club. Hi Dev, how's it going? Yeah, we are in the middle of a very hotly contested playoff match so far. Both adoor and Zuzu are playing really, really well and seeing the synergies that are on this board. I mentioned it during the board review in the beginning, but I think this is actually a pretty fun board, because even the like very hards and stuff on here, some of the very hards you can be a little like gated out of if you just like don't know the routes for them at all. But Kit Club and Campanella Gold Discs, like even if you don't like super know the routes for them, you can sometimes just like game out of your mind and play anyway. And both players have been doing a really good job of just playing their games well here. So I think this will be 7 and 8 if I remember the route right for orange obstacles. There's like a surprising amount of orange obstacles in the first like 5 levels. That might be 9 and 10 actually. I think that's 9 and 10, yeah. Shoutouts to Adoor for not counting the previous run of pin golf for that, because that would have been a pain to track. Well, luckily to you, they got rid of that meme as quickly as possible. Alright, so we are... Okay, so this square's a little bit hard to read, so this hot foot goal here says, use test bags when a 30.1 special cost game, and all throws that score points must be special throws. You basically have to use B in this, if I remember correctly, because B is the only character that shares stars with partner. So you basically just kind of always get the energy drink with B, and then always have special available. You still do have to win a 30-point game of hot foot, so it does kind of take a while. And as the goal suggests, you're only able to get points off of special shots, while your opponents can kind of just do whatever they want to do.
I had just put times 7, I had to make it an 8.
So you do have to be careful about it.
Have I heard about Tangle.io? It's multiplayer puzzles. We did multiplayer puzzles for a second here, but it kept like getting weird.
Praying for camo gameplay. I am too. I mentioned as a camo runner, I'm a little surprised to see that not be the first gold that people were going for out of all these gold discs that are on here.
Okay, I am done.
But to Zuzu's credit, Campanella 1 gold disc went incredibly smoothly, and definitely in position here to wrap up Kit Club. World 4 is always a little bit of a nightmare. So it's kind of tricky to say for sure that it's like locked up or anything, but generally you want to try to enter World 4 with as many lives as possible.
Puzzle can't move.
Must have hit that shot like very slightly before those iframes were done. So we are up 20-2 in hot foot. Excuse me, 22-2. Okay. Clearing out one side in 4-1 can sometimes be a little tricky. Understandable to take a death there, to be honest, because there's a lot of guys right above you that are kicking stuff down at you, and those shots can sometimes be a little difficult. A 30-4 blowout. Wow. I need to start using mascot for that goal, apparently. Been seeing a lot of good mascot gameplay in the league lately. So I think with that, the only bingo that's left is this middle column bingo. That it looks like Adoor may have potentially baited Zuzu into trying to block. Doesn't look like either player is super wanting to hop into camouflage right now, but honestly, given how many fast spaces are like still on the board, I can't even really blame them. Collecting the money. UFOs! Shoutouts to UFOs. Yeah, that's mascot. He's just a low guy that wants to wear his stuff. And after all that, my nail polish is still weird.
Wait, I could have continued with Twitch. That was stupid.
Okay, so this is one of the scarier levels in World 4 because you definitely can't hold on to the ball in the middle of the stage very long until you clear out those baseballs. And then you gotta kind of make sure that the football guys in this stage, in World 4 in general, but especially in this stage, are in like really, really inconvenient spots to kill. UFOs, no! Yeah, the only way you're going to be able to get UFOs back is to revive him at a church. While I love my boy Rufus, I don't know if he's necessarily the best for this goal, just because you generally want to try to just rush to the money spot as quick as possible.
I have no communities. I'm literally on Twitch.
Alright, so 4-8 and 4-9 are the scary parts of the run, as y'all might imagine. Very, very tense, but very cool football dodge there. That was very clean movement. Okay. So 4-9 is the scariest level of Kick Club. Basically everything that can be thrown at you here gets thrown at you. Some incredibly clean movement to clear out the baseballs in the middle of that room.
I don't know.
Taking his time. Alright. Not that it's super going to matter, but this will also potentially be a cherry, assuming that the World 4 boss goes well. Thankfully, for as hard as 4-8 and 4-9 are... Had to shut up for a second, make sure that that run ended. For as hard as World 4 is, the World 4 boss is generally pretty chill. That is a Kick Club cherry, though, and will also be another leaderboard, so very, very good synergy there. We are going to have to watch through the credits. So shout outs to everyone who made Kit Club possible. Our boy Euphis is back. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Not sure how that happened, but good for you.
How to do this.
So I don't think we made it all the way to the spot where you actually talk to the kid to get him to return back to the home.
I'm willing to, but there are things that are confusing me.
Yeah, it's been a good back and forth game so far. We do have double hawk skis, which is always terrifying. Okay, Ninpak getting 5k will be the 4th leaderboard. And assuming that this goes well, this will bring Zuzu back within 1, and also is confirming that this game is going to majority. For those that came in a little late, UFO 50 Bingo playoffs are slightly different. Instead of the game being an hour and 45 minutes and tiebreaker going to whoever got their last space first, the time limit is extended to 2 hours and 15 minutes, and there is no tiebreaker. Oh my god, a 6 hawk battle? No, you just gotta restart that. There's no shot. A 6 hawk, 1 tumbleweed battle is about as bad as you could ask for in
Why would
Grimstone.
I make the puzzle our puzzle?
What a terrible manipulation for pulling enemies there. So again, as much as I love my boy Rufus, this is not necessarily Rufus's best goal. It does look like we actually made it to the spot though, and are just trying to make it to the house here. Oh, I think Euphis has got this, but
Yeah.
the problem is that even with like
Hold on.
having 2 party members and one of them be Rufus, like theoretically is a really like quick idea because you don't even have to worry about like actually timing out your shots or whatever. But
Oh, you
then
can
it only gives AI like a 50% shot to not target Rufus instead of the
I have to
percentage
make
like
this
having
mod.
every time you go down.
Mod play tango.
Good job, Euphis. You did it, buddy.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you.
And
I would give a style point here if I could. Unfortunately, style points don't actually mean anything, but Adoor, you do get style points for bringing Rufus and making sure that that money got collected.
oh, there we go.
So right as both players mark that off, Adoor jumps up 10 to 8, and we are going to see some Rock on Island and some camouflage. We had not really like a lot of camouflage progress earlier, but we did see an undust and skip through the story and then quit back out, which sometimes is just enough to get ahead, especially in a game like Camouflage where like there's not even really that much time to optimize if you know the routes. There's like one thing you can do in like I think it's like level 8 or 9 or something that you can do to speed up time, but otherwise you're kind of just stuck at the whim of how fast your little guy can go. So in that sense, it actually made a ton of sense if you're Zuzu to save camouflage until the point where you like know for sure that your opponent just marked off a goal. So it took a little bit of damage there, but it's wave 1, so as long as you're able to build up the rest of the resources here, you're fine.
Is it showing enough of it? It didn't tell me what size to make the
Doesn't look like we're following the guide on the resource dock,
thingy.
but that's okay. the guide in the resource dock basically has you power yourself up all the way first, and then start to basically spread a couple of wheels and or fire ones, and then the end of this is just fire one city everywhere.
I know it might not be wide enough. Hold on. I know I did have a puzzle thing before.
So one of the nice
I don't
things
remember.
about camouflage here I can kind of mention while Adoor is working through this, besides syncing up to the music, is that it's a relatively safe run. Like, even if you get eaten by a frog here, you just undo it and then redo it correctly here. Level save, you're able to bank your progress for later, and it's also really good for like collectible stuff.
Hopefully this is showing enough of it.
And the gold disc, if you know it, is like just over 5 minutes. Slop with a raid, hi. How's it going, everyone? Welcome in. We are watching a playoff match between Adoor and Zuzu, and it's been a very good back and forth game. I'll recap the rules now that we have some raid people in. This is UFO 50 bingo, where two runners are basically competing to mark as many spaces off on this board as they can. Players have 2 hours and 15 minutes to try to either get a bingo, which is no longer possible, or get a majority of spaces. And if the game ends in a tie, we'll just go until the next point is scored. So if this does end up, like for example, if Zuzu ends up coming back and grabbing 2 extra points here while Adoor is not able to grab another point for a minute, if the game would have ended at 10-10 in the regular season, it would have just been whoever got the 10th point first, and now it's going to be whoever gets point number 11 first, like at all. But yeah, welcome in everyone. Hope Elden Ring went well. I still need to try to play any FromSoft stuff at any point. I've watched Bud play Dark Souls 1, but that is the extent of my FromSoft experiences, watching and trying to figure out what to do.
It's fun.
It seems fun.
You should play it. Okay.
So luckily, now that we have attack speed maxed out and strength almost all the way maxed out, and we'll have strength maxed out here, your unit as yourself is the strongest thing in Rock on Island, and quite frankly, it's not even really close. Like, there's one mission, I think, in Rock on Island that you don't just like immediately upgrade Zola for, and it's because you only partially upgrade Zola all the way. But basically everything in bingo, you want to make sure that your Zola is as powerful as possible. Unfortunately, at this point in the match, you do also kind of need just quick attackers in the back,
Now I shall mute and try to watch this documentary.
which can sometimes be a little difficult.
Enjoy the workies, everybody.
Beating this without chickens obviously means that you can't chicken farm, so you're on like a set amount of money each time. We are starting to build up the fire army here, which is good.
Fire army.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Bun's in the back with the color commentary. I'm the
The more
play-by-play.
stressed I am, the more vocals tend to get.
It's okay.
Hooey.
Alright, so I haven't really commented on the camouflage too much recently, but we are coming up on the second to last level in that. And coming up on a little bit of a sketch ending here in Wasteland. We do have a little bit of bow army starting to be built up, which will definitely take out the pterodactyls. And once we have enough funds here, it looks like we are going to just build up bows, which is sometimes a little scary. Bows are good and have a lot of range, but especially on a goal like this, you kind of need like the mass spam of enemies towards the end. because there are a lot of guys that spawn in this map the longer it goes on. And the pterodactyls, if they are able to get through, will take away 3 meat instead of just 1, so... Thankfully they only take 1 meat away if you get hit by them. It does look like adoor is intentionally taking damage on some of these though, to basically like death abuse back to the cave and build up the back line without having to like run all the way back there. Which can be a good strategy, but we are only on 13 meat, which is a little low. Thankfully it's just beat Wasteland, it's not perfect Wasteland, so still able to take like a couple of hits here. But definitely has to be pretty efficient in these final lines to make sure that the shots are going where they need to go. But hi, Vegeminer and Ginger, welcome in. We are pretty deep into this bingo match. Whenever this match is done, by the way, I'll also be practicing for my own bingo match tomorrow, because I made playoffs in a different tier of this league, and I need practice because I'm going up against a team that's undefeated. I always say team because I'm just used to like kind of talking in sports terms, but it's just one person. It's Hugo, and they're really good, so... I got asked at one point during my recap, like, why I always refer to people as teams, and it's just because I watch a lot of football, and I'm used to analyzing teams for football on account of my team for football is really bad, and has been really bad for a really long time. Shoutouts to the Raiders. Thanks. I'm excited, honestly. I haven't gotten to play Hugo yet. We've both been in the same tier for 2 seasons now, and just our schedules have never matched up where we've both gotten to play each other. So, I think it'll be fun. I thankfully have had a pretty big trial by fire the past month where I ended up playing 4 playoff teams back to back. And then barely making playoffs myself, and then ended up having to play, obviously, other playoff teams, so... It's one of those schedules that when you're in the middle of, it's a little terrifying, but definitely helps once you're actually in playoffs, because I'm just like, alright, I've been playing playoff games for about a month now, so... Okay. And the bow army at the end was definitely able to chip down those woolly mammoths. That would have counted as a boss, by the way, but it doesn't actually matter here. So we do finally have meat online. Might as well, I was going to say might as well try, but I think the 5th seed you need the upgrades for. So Unktomi on just 1 meat is pretty rough, and I don't even know if it's entirely possible, to be honest. But might just be trying to scout for a couple of resources and just see what's around. And meanwhile, that is Camouflage Gold Disc, and we did see the play that we called out at the very beginning of this game, where Adoor neglected all of the normal quote-unquote gold discs that people go for, and got the Camouflage Gold Disc, Campanella Gold Disc, and Kit Club Gold Disc that were all on the card. So, very good job for seeing that synergy, and seeing that that Rock On Square was just marked. We are going to see a hold here, which I think is also an equally good call. I guess as a friendly reminder for those that don't know, when you mark a space in bingo, or when you achieve a space in bingo, I guess I should say, you don't have to mark it off right away. And in fact, it sometimes helps to not mark it off right away. I saw that Adoor had 3 gifts, but I didn't see what the 3rd one was. I have Pin Golf and Vanger down. There's something in the top right, so I'm just going to mark Velgress and assume it was the Velgress one, but... Yeah, so as a general notice, since we do have a lot of new friends here, tomorrow is going to be an incredibly busy bingo day, and not even just because my game's going on. Like, I think there's like 6 or 7 different playoff matches tomorrow, across all the tiers and across a bunch of different streams and stuff. So if you've been liking what you've been seeing here, feel free to UFO50.bingo. Feel free to check out UFO50.bingo and click on the schedule tab, and it'll automatically convert over into your time zone as well as who's streaming. So feel free to pay attention to those, and if bingo looks like something that you maybe want to try, I will phrase it more in terms of if it looks like something you want to try but you're not like 100% confident in like every game in the collection or whatever, feel free to join the Discord for UFO 50 Bingo and check out the underground bingo tourney that we're going to be having. Signups will end tomorrow, but basically the underground tourney is something that me, Guri, Winterbit, and Nixel are going to be running, where players are able to draft games and then protect them and or ban their opponent's stuff, to basically build like curated bingo boards. There'll still be like the same spaces that we see on this board, for instance. Like, it's not going to be like custom bingo spaces or anything, but you will get to manually pick and choose which games appear on the board. So I know a couple of people, for instance, have expressed that they want to get into UFO 50 Bingo, but learning a full 50 games is a little overwhelming, which, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is. It's definitely very fun, but it's also pretty dang time consuming. But the underground tourney is a really nice mid-ground for that, where you can kind of just play the games that you personally are really comfortable with, and then maybe have to learn like an extra game or something as you get further in. But so I haven't mentioned this part of this head-to-head here, but because Zuzu was able to hold that space for as long as he did, we got an interesting advantage here theoretically. Oh no, not as much of an advantage as he maybe would have liked, but honestly still very slightly ahead. Because of that hold, Adoor didn't immediately hop into this Campanella 3 goal, and Camp 3 is effectively an auto-scroller, honestly, because you can't go any faster than the game wants you to go. And because of that, we see that now Zuzu is like a half a wave maybe ahead, not even a full half a wave. So if he is able to win on this run, this could be that extra little jolt that he needed to be able to kind of get a point back and tie this back up 11-11. When I looked at this board, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of predict that this game would potentially be going to majority, especially if the quick bingos that were on the board were able to be blocked like they were in this game. This board has a lot of cool synergy and a lot of like hard to do but quick spaces, and both players have done a really good job of identifying those spaces. Adoor unfortunately takes a hit from being trapped in that little cave of blocks at the end, while Zuzu correctly stays off to the side. And this extra like half a wave here is gonna end up mattering quite a lot, actually. Also, both players got the Camp 3 gift. Yeah, I mean, it is entirely possible that this match ends before the 2 hours and 15 minutes. Looking at this board, both players have a pretty significant amount of gifts. We do see the 4 waves of 0%. You don't have to clear the boss, you just gotta beat that wave. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. If anyone wants to clarify that real quick, I'm pretty sure you just have to get to the boss though. Okay, and we are tied 11 to 11. For those that are just joining us, Zuzu does not have an ounce of pilot quest progress, so this is an advantage for adoor, but adoor has no clue how much pilot progress Zuzu either has or doesn't have here. Elbowed the fuck out of my laptop, but okay. So we are gonna see a gift rush here. I think both players are just going for quick gifts that they're gonna be able to grab fast. I'm just gonna go ahead and mark this down as divers for adoor, and I guess I'll wait. Oh, never mind. I forgot that Zuzu had a pretty extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I forgot how much progress adoor ended up having. So no, do the camouflage gift. Camouflage gift is so fast. I mean, Vanger gift is fast too, so that's fine. But camouflage gift, when you've already golded the game, is literally just complete a level all the way. Yep, that's gift number 7. Oh, wow. So, this game is really coming down to late game pilot quest and Metroidvania. And if you're adoor, I know you're panicking because you got to figure out exactly where the opponent's not going to be here. We are just now opening up pilot quest for the first time. So likely just going to see if we get the canvas luck to get an ingot. It's a 1 in 300 drop to get an ingot here and immediately get the meat shop online. Most likely just going to try to get the seeds going and try to make some Metroidvania progress, of which adoor does have a game already, because adoor grabbed the multi-mod and heat mod from Vanger. And luckily for adoor, those are the fastest ones. So this might be a playoff match that comes down to this Unktomi fight where neither player has like a ton of progress, but adoor does have a little bit more. And as a caster, that's all you could really want. Obviously both players doing an exceptional job this game of just identifying the goals and going for them. I think... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, as a tiebreak demanding Unktomi fight is one of the funniest ways that this match could have ended, and I'm so glad it's ending this way. Because looking at this board, the Kit Club Gold Disc and Campanella 1 Gold Disc are the very hards on this, but Zuzu was able to knock those out as part of the 3 golds that he was working on, and just kind of naturally got all 3 gifts, or all 3 gold discs that were on the card, and then also got the 3 gold discs from games on this card space. And I think that like extra of reading of the board and grabbing synergy for gold discs that you typically wouldn't go for, like I don't think outside of camouflage really, I don't think Campanella 1 or Kit Club are ones that people are like raring up to do most of the time. But having the flexibility to identify in a match that, like, yeah, that is what I want to do here, and it makes sense for me to do that on this board. Are we just staying in until we get the ingot? I mean, okay, so I guess if you're Zuzu, you know that the Vanger progress has already been done, right? Oh, this is so funny. We stay in. Let's go. The playoff version. This exact same thing happened to Glove versus Chaco either last week or in week 7. I forget which week it was. But it was a late game pilot quest where they just had to stay in mashing the crystal over and over again. Oh, this is so funny. I kind of thought we were just going to set up the seeds and try to work on Metroidvania and then have this in the background. But, like, also, I think this makes... Oh, we get the ingot! Okay, I was going to say this makes sense even if we don't get the ingot, but now that we got the ingot online, this is looking scary for Adoor. Clearing out Unktomi on one meat is brutal. Did they not get the... I don't think they got the brakes or the blockbuster. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we have the meat online and are now trying Gulf area. Is it 1% for the ingot? It's like 0.3% ish. I mean, it's 1 in 300, so I guess it's like 0.33%, but yeah, very, very unlikely. I think given the amount of times that zuzu hit there, I think it was pretty much right on average luck. But obviously you typically don't see players just mash that crystal 300 times to be able to get that online. But yeah, this match, as I predicted early in, if the bingos were blocked, this was most likely going to go to majority. And we have head-to-head Gulf area, head-to-head Porgy, head-to-head Vanger, and head-to-head Pilot Quest marking this game. And I guess that is the weirdest place I've ever seen that golf ball stop for Adoor. Got 3 strokes to be able to grab these block. That was a very nice approach shot. Okay. Okay, and there's the gift. Had the brakes, so that is the golf area portion. I'm gonna check Pilot Quest, because at this point, Adoor will need both spaces. Grab the meat. Are you gonna run out? We are gonna run out. Okay. Sorry for the ads at the worst possible time. But we do have an attempt at the wild zone going here. So it's looking like Adoor does have the advantage in terms of like overall Pilot Quest progress, but Pilot Quest can be pretty mean. I think 2 meat is definitely enough to be able to kill Unktomi, but Unktomi can sometimes just decide that things aren't going to work out that way. And also these spiders are not nice. Okay, so interestingly, we do have 2 meat now. If you're not feeling like this run may have enough time, you could go back and basically restart this, but I think at this point... Oh, that is tragic. Unktomi unfortunately does 60 seconds of damage. Saying GG. I don't know if that's entirely GG yet, because thankfully Adoor does have the Porgy progress here. But I think they're basically going to have to do this Porgy goal in the next 5 minutes. I don't think they have any of the abilities in Porgy yet. But they're going to have to basically do this Porgy goal in the next 5 minutes, get a meat online, and then end up having that meat turn into 2 meat by kind of farming a bit, and then figuring it out from there. Hi Matt, hi Raiders. Y'all joined in at a very hype time. This match has been neck and neck the entire time. Both players have the meat shack online, but are unable to actually make progress in it right now. Adoor just had a run of Pilot Quest that got to Unktomi, but then ended up running out of time. Adoor does have slightly more progress in Metroidvania here. But I think seeing that... yeah, Adoor's gonna... Oh no! Entered in a little early and didn't get the extra meat. We have playoff, no meat, and playoff, we stay in. This is just the best hits of all possible Pilot Quest. Sorry for the ads. I think at this point, Door is likely looking at the resource dock, trying to figure out where 3 abilities in Porgy even are. Buster Torpedoes counts as 1, and then typically you get the motor and the drill, which are thankfully like right next to each other. Otherwise, this goal would be like really, really long. But in order to come back, Adoor is going to need to snipe this progress and basically hope that that pop-in that Zuzu just had is going to be enough to basically set them back on the meat shack and put them at a head-to-head Unktomi race where they can't do anything but be in Pilot Quest. And then if it does get to 12 to 12, I'm basically just going to pause the timer and it's just going to be whoever gets that space first. This is the funniest possible outcome that could have happened from this board, and I'm sure both of these players are so stressed. But as the caster, I am absolutely loving this. Yeah, I hope the match between Winterbait and Keeney also went well. It looked like it was a really, really close one when I was starting to watch before this game. I guess for everyone who came in on Matt's raid, y'all probably know what UFO 50 Bingo is, but in case anyone was lurking and missed it, both of these players are trying to run through all of the games in UFO 50 as fast as they can and complete goals as fast as they can. Players cannot see where each other are at and basically just only have the information on the board available to try to figure out where to go and what goals to do and stuff. And we have had an incredible back and forth game between both players playing really well here. Once again, shout outs to Zuzu for seeing the synergy of Campanella 1 gold disc, Kick Club gold disc, Camouflage gold disc, and collect 3 gold discs on this card. Because able to use that to just mark off 4 spaces for 3 golds. And we do have 1 mod in Vanger and 2 things in Porgy. So theoretically, if Adoor is able to grab this drill, I don't actually remember at what time Zuzu quit out here. But if Zuzu pops back into Pilot Quest 5 minutes or less since the last time he popped into Pilot Quest, there's actually not going to be another meet there for him. And both players will be tied at 1 meet, and will just have to rely on their like raw Pilot Quest skills to farm more. Yeah, the amount of blackouts / near blackouts that all of playoffs have had so far is really, really hype. I guess as a general heads up, I will also be trying to practice and or blackout today's daily board after this is done, which can be in the next like couple of minutes or could be like hours from now. Because as I mentioned, there's no time limit if this game goes 12 to 12. The game will just end whenever the players mark off the final space. And having the final space be Pilot Quest is like kind of one of the most awkward situations that you could have for that, because generally you want to have Pilot Quest kind of cooking in the background while you're doing a bunch of other stuff, and instead players will just be locked into Pilot Quest. We did already see Zuzu hit the opening crystal like 300 times to get the ingot and get the meat shack online, but could be fairly similar to that. Just had a near blackout on the other game too. Nice. All right, it is 12 to 12. The final space on the board. Players have unlimited time to kill Unktomi. We have 1 meet. I'm pretty sure that Zuzu's gonna see this and pop back into Pilot Quest, and I don't think it's been 5 minutes. They may just be sitting here waiting the 5 minutes before popping back into Pilot Quest. This, like, not seeing that Metroidvania got marked is actually probably the best thing that could possibly happen here if you're Zuzu. Because they need this 5 minutes to elapse to get that second meet going to try to rush in. Okay. Adoor got 2 meat. Got real close to losing that all. Okay. Is the meat online? Has it been 5 minutes since the last time that he showed up here? It has been. Head to head, 2 meat race, an hour and a half into this match. Even meat. I think Zuzu confirming with the document that he knows where to go here to be able to run up to Unktomi. And meanwhile, Adoor is pretty confidently and quickly running up here. We've already seen Unktomi not grow great for Adoor here. The spiders can be a little overwhelming, and even when all of the spiders are gone, Unktomi herself is not always the nicest of bosses. So we are going to see a little bit more cautious of clearing out the field first, which I think makes sense. You don't have a ton of time with 2 meat, but you need this happening here. I'm not sure why we're farming moon crystals here. I don't know if Zuzu knows that there's not going to be any more meat spawning. That was dangerously close to taking a hit there. But we have her against the wall. We have her in the rhythm. She did jump over, though. Uh-oh. That is not what you want to see. Let these spider webs expire and try to run away. Okay. We got her against the wall again. Is this going to be enough? It's enough. That's game. Holy crap. Wow, what a game.
Holy crap.
I had said the exact same thing right before you unmuted.
Okay.
What a game, y'all. GG.
Holy crap. That ended on all my least favorite games in the whole entire collection.
I feel like my vision is blurring, man. I'm like seeing double, man.
There's spiders everywhere.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Yep. There's so many. That was a wild game. That was really a crazy game. I thought that one was over. I died on the spider a little while back, and I just figured, okay, well, that's it. I mean, I can't even go right back into it. Now I gotta wait for the meat to respawn again. And so I had to go back for Metroidvania. I had luckily done Vanger and... No, I had only done Vanger, so I had to go back and do that, but that just barely gave me enough time to do it. I had to scrounge for meat, and how close were you in this one, out of curiosity?
I got Galfaria done in Metroidvania, and one ability in Vanger, or in Galfaria.
I mean to say in, like...
Oh, in Pilot Quest? I had 2 meats, and I was just waiting there, and I had no idea what I was going to do once I got out of camp, because I hate Pilot Quest. I know nothing about it.
I'm also pretty bad at Pilot Quest. Like, I think that this Unktomi goal is the only Pilot Quest goal I've ever done, so if it was, like, 1 notch harder... That would have been it for me. And
so,
that Metroidvania goal is also pretty scary.
Yeah, so Metroidvania, I think really kind of just came down to the fact that there was that early game Vanger progress that you had banked. Pilot Quest was at the point where you both had 2 meat with the score tied 12-12. And I think specifically because Zuzu ended up staying in Vanger just like a little bit after you had marked it, let like just enough time pass for that 5 minutes to pass. Because it was real close on if that 5 minutes was going to pass for Zuzu to get that second meat or not. And I think if both of you had just rushed out into the wild zone like right away, that would have been like a direct who's Unktomi going to be nicer to have this move on.
Do you only need 2 meat for that?
Yeah,
well,
so
it's, like, tough.
Yeah, so 2 meat is possible. Ideally, you have like 3 or even 4, because if you get hit by her like at all with 2 meat, it's kind of over.
Oh man.
But like, had that been a situation where really, if Adore had taken one more hit, both of y'all would have been in a position where you like didn't really have the meat to feel comfortable to go out there, and would have just been sitting probably on the main menu waiting for more meat.
Awesome. And what's great too about that is there's no time limit in
Yep, no, I would have just been
playoff
casting
games.
y'all watching the demo screens for 5 minutes.
I would have opened mine too. That would have been awesome.
The combat in Pilot Quest like sucks, and I don't know how to do good with the combat in that game. It's like I don't know what I would have done. I probably would like I should probably like practice that.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. This is one that I would love to get more time in. I have barely done any at all, so I basically only know, like I was mentioning before, how to get to Untomi. Like, I would have to scrounge deep into the memory banks. And the Porgy, just because it's fresh in my mind, because I just did it, the Porgy goals, or the Metroidvania goal, I think I only know how to get one of those. Like, I had the map pulled up. That wasn't clear.
Yeah, so
I had no idea.
luckily with the Porgy portion of Metroidvania, like, you normally grab the Buster Torpedoes, like, on your way to doing a lot of the other goals anyway. And then the motor and drill are, like, kind of equally far away, but still kind of close. And I think really just because you had an excuse to go into Vanger really early in the game, grab that multi-bot and make that, like, really early game bank of progress, I think that ended up being the deciding factor there. For
That
sure.
worked out really, really well for sure, and I really like that multi-mod goal. What I did in my last game, because it just keeps showing up for me for whatever reason. Sometimes I skip the heat mod, and if I had done that, that wouldn't have been the Vanger. I would have had to go back to get the heat mod, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but I had a rusty start to this match. Like, I was messing up in Belgress. I was going for the ping golf, and I didn't even notice until halfway through ping golf that there was also the 10 orange destructibles goals, so that was like awkward because I'm sure I probably actually got that goal.
On that note, I'm kind of glad that you didn't notice it, because I thought that you were just going for that first square also, and did not keep track at all of how many orange things you had killed, so I'm glad that you just went back and did all 10 straight up.
I mean, I probably could have just done like 9, because I messed up, hit at least 1 when I first went through, but I did 10 anyways, so yeah, I was messing up quite a bit in Valgrass. Let me pull up the card real quick if there's anything else. There were some ones on this that I really need to practice. Like, I have not done that Wasteland Rock on Island goal at all.
Yeah.
The Fistile one, I was kind of, I don't know what you'd say, waffling around in, just because I didn't know if $20 was like you needed every single money pickup.
I think if you get every money pickup in the first level, it's like 25 or 26 or something, but normally you just grab everything.
Rail Heist, I was kind of floundering in, so there's a lot of bad decisions on my part. And you did really good going for those gold discs and the general as well, Zuzu.
Yeah, that was
I just practiced camouflage gold disc like a couple hours ago actually, so
that's gotta be super quick.
Lucked out with that.
Yeah, it's always nice when your games that you're practicing actually like show up and stuff. But yeah, the triple Campanella gold disc, Kit Club gold disc, camouflage gold disc, and collect 3 gold discs was very clean synergy for sure. And doing them in I was just gonna say, doing them in the order that you did them in was also really smart, because it blocked all of the bingos pretty quick and forced this to majority.
Yeah, for sure. The moment that I was really feeling like the rug was being pulled from underneath me was when you sniped me on the Camp 3 goal.
Oh yeah, that was with a hold too, so I think that hold difference. Yeah,
you
so
had momentum going into that, and that was I mean, like you say, I guess that was a hold. It must have been because of how quick he checked it off.
Yeah, so it was a pretty, like, I think probably like a 20 or 30 second hold or whatever. But Zuzu finished camouflage and hopped into Campanella 3, and basically that like gap of hold, even though it was only like 15-20 seconds or whatever, was the difference between Zuzu getting that square or not. So
cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure about holding, because I know that's more of an advanced technique, and I'm definitely not an advanced player.
Y'all are in playoffs now. Definitely do what you got to do, and it paid off for you for sure.
I mean, I can't stress enough that you played incredibly well. I mean, we brought this to Blackout. Yeah, it was pretty neck and neck, I feel like, practically through and through. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
there was a moment when I was like 2 ahead, but then you came ahead, you know, so it was...
I,
I'm sure this is a
I,
lot
I think
of
there
my
was like a point where one of you was 2 points ahead or whatever, but almost like neck for neck the entire game. Y'all were just kind of marking off each other's goals. And I think honestly the only game that tripped up both of you is Velgress, and that just happens to anyone that's not named Matt. So
Yeah. I've been having so much fun playing Velgress, although, you know, I guess that doesn't
Almost
necessarily
done,
show up in my gameplay, but it's such a fun game. It's so quick, and you can just keep playing it all, and I've been quite enjoying it. But
yeah,
yeah, I think
very
that's about
very well
it.
played. I will have to download the VOD and upload it later because of the weird crash I had like 10 minutes in, but everything else worked out perfectly, so definitely looking forward to watching that VOD back when it's fully live. And yeah, I don't have too much more to say. Incredible game, very well played by both of you, and very, very fitting for playoffs. Glad I got to cast that
Oh.
one.
One last thing I will mention is that I did use the goal that you put, the paint chase without killing planes. I did. That's your IC Twitch
Well, thanks.
video, so thanks for that.
Of course. I'm glad that the clip's useful. Honestly, it's a hard goal even if you follow the clip absolutely perfectly, so...
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
both of
I
you...
went for that.
Yeah.
And did not know what to do.
Yeah, both of you had the moment of, oh, I killed the plane. I guess I just have to sit in the corner and think about what I did for 20 seconds. But yeah, GG's. Definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of playoffs. One friendly reminder, I guess, again, before I pop off mic. If y'all are interested in playing more UFO 50 bingo, we are doing an underground bingo tourney. And signups for that will end tomorrow, but you get to pick and choose what games are going to show up on your board, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sure.
But yeah, I am going to go ahead and take a quick stream break and grab some water and stuff, but then I'll come back for some bingo practice of my own. But Adoor and Zuzu, thank you for a very, very fun match to commentate, because that was a blast.
Thank you for casting.
Of course.
Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good one.
Good luck on the rest of the tournament, Adoor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to seeing what the rest of B2 playoffs look like for sure. GG's.
Take care then.
Alright.
Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably end up muting because Bunt's got some homework that she's got to do. So I will pop...
While you're talking.
That's fine.